Have you ever imagined a future where defense systems can literally think ahead, predicting crises before they happen, responding faster than humans can react, and keeping nations secure in real time? Well, that future might just be arriving sooner than we thought. Because today, NUBURU has made a move that could completely redefine how defense and security technology works worldwide. This isn't just another boring business acquisition. This could be the beginning of a revolution in how governments, armies, and critical industries stay resilient under pressure. So don't go anywhere because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this single deal might change the future of modern defense forever. So here's what just happened. NUBURU, the company best known for its high-performance blue laser technology, has announced that it's acquiring an Italian company called Orbit. Now, at first glance, that might not sound like a big deal, but the truth is, Orbit isn't just another software company. It's a powerhouse in operational resilience, crisis management, and continuity systems. In simple terms, it's the kind of software governments and defense organizations use to prepare for the unexpected, whether that's a cyber attack, a communication blackout, or even a full-blown crisis. And here's where things get really interesting. NUBURU has mostly been a hardware company, building advanced laser and photonic systems used in precision manufacturing, defense, and aerospace. But this move takes them into the world of software, data, and real-time decision intelligence. Think about it like this, they're no longer just selling the tools that power defense systems. They're now building the brain that makes those systems smarter, faster, and more autonomous. According to the official release, NUBURU's acquisition of Orbit will happen in two stages. First, they're injecting up to $5 million into Orbit over the next 36 months, starting with $1.5 million to secure roughly a 10.7% stake in the company. Then, by December 2026, they plan to fully acquire Orbit, valuing it at around $12.5 million pre-money. Once the acquisition completes, NUBURU will gain full global distribution rights to Orbit's entire platform in the defense and mission-critical sectors. And here's the kicker. The integration between their hardware and Orbit software could turn NUBURU into a one-stop solution for defense intelligence and crisis readiness worldwide. Now, let's unpack why this move is such a big deal. The global market for crisis management and operational resilience software is projected to hit nearly $3 billion next year, and it's growing fast. Governments, corporations, and defense agencies are no longer satisfied with just responding to problems. They need systems that can anticipate them. Orbit's platform was designed exactly for that. It helps organizations map out critical systems, monitor live disruptions, analyze threats, and execute coordinated responses in real time. Imagine a command center where everything, from sensors and drones to communication networks, is synced inside one software ecosystem. That's what NUBURU is aiming to build. And here's what makes it even more strategic. The Orbit platform is built around a continuous cycle. Plan, sense, decide, act, and learn. In practice, that means it doesn't just help with one crisis. It constantly improves based on each event. The system runs business impact analysis, automates risk maps, predicts vulnerabilities, and tests continuity plans before an emergency even happens. When combined with NUBURU's hardware expertise, high-power blue lasers, advanced sensors, and optical systems, the result could be a fully integrated defense solution that connects the physical world with digital intelligence. In other words, NUBURU isn't just expanding, it's transforming. It's moving from being a high-tech equipment maker into becoming an end-to-end defense technology platform. That's the kind of strategic shift that could attract major government contracts in the US, NATO, and across Europe. Financially, the deal also has some interesting details. Part of the acquisition will be funded through equity securities, subject to stockholder approval. And while Orbit is owned by Alessandro Zamboni, who's also involved with NUBURU, the transaction went through independent board approval to make sure everything stayed above board. So this isn't some backdoor internal shuffle. It's a carefully structured growth move aimed at scaling globally. If we look at the potential numbers, Orbit projects revenues growing from around $3 million in 2026 to almost $19 million by 2028. That's over a six-fold increase in just 2 years. Of course, those are ambitious targets, but they show the scale of NUBURU's ambition. This isn't about short-term profits, it's about long-term positioning in one of the fastest-growing defense technology segments in the world. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture, because this deal tells us something important about where defense technology is heading. The future of defense isn't just about tanks, missiles, or jets anymore. It's about information. Who gets it first? Who understands it faster? And who can act on it most effectively? Orbit software, integrated with NUBURU's laser and photonic hardware, could allow defense clients to analyze real-time threats, run scenario simulations, and execute responses instantly, all within a unified interface. That's the kind of power that saves time, money, and lives. And it's not just governments who benefit. The same technology can be used in energy, transportation, cybersecurity, and large-scale infrastructure sectors. Anywhere that risk needs to be predicted and managed, NUBURU plus Orbit can play a role. It's defense tech meets SaaS, and that crossover could be incredibly lucrative. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. Integrating two completely different types of companies, a hardware manufacturer and a software developer, is never easy. There are cultural differences, technical challenges, and the ever-present pressure to deliver results fast. Then there's the competition. Big players like Palantir, Raytheon, and Northrop Grumman are already moving aggressively into this kind of data-driven defense intelligence. So, for NUBURU, execution will be everything. If they can successfully merge these two worlds and deliver reliable, secure, and scalable systems, they could punch far above their current weight in the defense industry. But if integration drags or the software fails to scale, it could become a costly distraction. Still, what's undeniable is that this move positions NUBURU in a market that's shifting rapidly. Governments are under growing pressure to modernize, especially as new forms of warfare, and from cyber to electronic to space, change the nature of global security. The old model of purely reactive defense is dying. The future belongs to systems that can predict, prevent, and adapt. And that's exactly what Orbit software is designed to do. So, what should investors and analysts be watching next? For one, how fast NUBURU integrates Orbit's platform and whether early customers start signing up. Any new contract announcements, especially from the US Department of Defense or NATO, could signal huge upside potential. Also keep an eye on financial filings to see how they structure the equity portion of the deal and whether shareholder approval goes smoothly. The other key signal will be product synergy. If NUBURU can demonstrate real-world cases where its blue laser hardware and Orbit's SaaS platform work together to solve complex defense problems, that's when the market will truly take notice. In the end, this acquisition is about more than just expansion. It's a statement. NUBURU is betting that the next decade of defense technology will be dominated by companies that can combine physical and digital intelligence into one seamless system. If they pull it off, they won't just be another tech supplier. They could become a cornerstone in the new era of defense innovation. So the question is, will this bold bet pay off? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the defense industry is changing fast, and NUBURU just positioned itself right in the middle of that transformation. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth coverage on emerging defense technologies, and don't forget to drop your thoughts below. Do you think NUBURU's move into software will make them a future defense powerhouse, or is this too risky of a leap? Let's talk in the comments. And before we wrap up, here's a quick disclaimer. This video is created purely for informational and educational purposes. It does not constitute financial advice, investment recommendations, or endorsement of any specific stock or company. Always do your own research or consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. The content here is based on publicly available data and our own analysis, which may change over time.